Hello, beautiful angels. It is Olivia Grace, and welcome back to the Master Manifestors channel. Here we talk about manifesting, law of assumption, and also really ascending to our higher selves, connecting with God, and all of that good stuff. So if you're interested, I would love to have you. You can subscribe. There will be links in the description if you want to connect with me more and join my group on Facebook. I am also offering donation-based sessions for you guys at the moment. So the links will be in the description for that as well. So yeah, let's get into the video. So today I am doing a part two to my part one of how to communicate better with others. And this is for any relationship, you guys. This is basic, like, human communication skills. So you can use this to fix a romantic relationship, a friendship, a relationship between parents and kids. You can use this for any relationship in your life. I would say, as a preface to this, I see a lot of people, now that we are, let me put my do not disturb. Okay. So now that we are basically getting into healing and everything like that, people can tend to just say everybody is toxic, everybody is a narcissist, everybody is a sociopath, everybody is just all of these things. But the truth is that a lot of us are just learning. I am a person that I communicate with people for my job, as a coach. And I've been studying this for a long time, and I just learned these basic skills myself in the past couple of years. So give grace. And I'm saying that to preface you guys, because let's just not be so quick to throw people away and replace them. Let's give people the opportunity. Now, I'm saying that to say that all you really need is someone who is willing to communicate with you. And I won't say all you need, because there's a lot that goes into it. But if you have someone who is willing to listen, who is willing to hear you, who is willing to share how they feel with you, then that's a good first step. If you have someone who's not even willing to listen to you or not even willing to talk with you, that's kind of another problem in itself. So I just wanted to preface that. So as usual, you guys, we're going to be talking about three specific things. The first thing is something that I learned from my friend Meisha. And she is a inner child coach. She helps people heal like trauma throughout their life. She's amazing. One of the most amazing people I've ever met in my life. And she is the person that taught me about conscious communication. So I'm going to actually get her links and put it in the description for you guys to connect with her if you're interested in her work. So the first thing is, you guys, like, there's a lot. I'm going to give a brief overview because I'm going to focus on two things that she taught me, but there's kind of a brief overview. So basically, when you're talking with a friend or you're listening to someone, and let's say they're telling you that they had a bad day, right? Let's say they say, oh gosh, my day sucked. I was at work today and my boss was, he was really mean to me and it just made me feel really bad about myself, right? So as a friend, what we usually tend to do is to either fix them and say, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. That shouldn't have happened. That guy's an asshole. Oh, don't cry. Don't be upset. It's okay. Let's, get you cheered up, whatever, right? We either try to fix them or we invalidate their experience. And we're not trying to do that, but we basically take the experience away and make it about us, right? Oh my gosh, well, that can't be half as bad as how it was with my boss today. And my boss was being this way to me. And he's always, and when I learned this, you guys, I felt so bad because I was like, I do that so often. And it's not because you don't care about what the person is saying. That's just kind of how conversations go. You're hearing them and you relate to something. So you're like, oh yeah, me too. But in that moment though, sometimes a person is just wanting to be heard. Sometimes when a person, especially when someone is going through something, maybe they don't want you to give them, hurry up and feel better because your sadness is making me sad. Your sadness is making me uncomfortable. Or, oh, that's not even that bad. You should just be grateful for what you have and right? And all of this is good intention, you guys, okay? And this is very advanced communicating skills, right? So, but what it does is it does invalidate their experience, and it makes them, it basically tells them that you're not a safe space to share with. You're someone who either is going to be uncomfortable with their emotion, or you're going to take the experience away. So instead of doing that, and this is especially in arguments, you guys, this helps me and my boyfriend a lot when we're arguing. What you want to do is mirror them. So when you're mirroring them, you're repeating back to them exactly what they said or what you heard them say. And what you'll find when you mirror people is that, especially in arguments, you'll find that what you heard is not exactly what they said, or it's not exactly what they meant, right? So once you mirror them, you're going to validate them and tell them, you know, that makes sense that you would feel like that. Like, wow. So in this example, your friend, you know, she's had a bad day at work. She's had a bad day with her boss. So you would mirror her and you would basically repeat back what she said, what you heard her say. And you would say, well, so what I'm hearing you say is that your boss seems like, you know, he's being really mean, being, you know, condescending. And, you know, it seems like that like really hurt your feelings. Am I right in like what I'm hearing from you? And I know this seems very, what's the word? Tedious, right? But you guys, when I tell you, you are granting such a service to that person to be just as they are, to be in what they are in, to fully experience the emotion that they're having. And a lot of times when you mirror someone, they can kind of see, you know, maybe like, let's say, and for instance, you say, wow, I'm hearing, you know, blah, 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 blah. They might come to their own conclusion that, yeah, you know, he was being pretty condescending, but, you know, I am grateful because, you know, I have my own, you know, I do have a really good job or whatever, but you don't need to lead that. Allow people to work through their own emotions. But when you're mirroring them, especially in arguments, as I said, you guys, you're letting them know that I heard you. Now, when you validate them, and also before I get to validating, you're giving them a chance to correct you, because when you're mirroring them, after you're done, you ask them, did I hear that right? Did I miss something? You know, is there something else that I maybe didn't hit when I mirrored you just now? And y'all, this is a game changer. And I'm going to say right here to you guys, if y'all haven't watched my first video, part 1, I'm going to link that in the description as well. You need to watch it because it is kind of a preface to this. That has really like the basic fundamentals of being able to even have a conversation on this level. Okay. So mirror them, validating them. Validating them can be something simple, just like, wow, that makes so much sense. Or, you know, wow, you know, I understand why that would make you feel like that. I understand why somebody, you know, being condescending to you might make you, you know, feel tension with your boss. That makes a lot of sense to me. Simple. Okay. So you're mirroring and validating each other. And like I said this in the other video, but I'm going to say this again. When you are hearing someone, okay, guys, because communication, it's funny. This video is about communicating, but communicating has a lot to do with listening. It has a lot to do with listening, especially when you know that that is the goal, you guys. A lot of times when we're communicating, our goal is to get our point across, is to get you to understand, is to get them to understand. But it's not our goal to understand them. And when people don't feel heard, that's when it evolves into anger and all of these other things. But so allow the person to hear fully what you're sharing with them. Allow them to be heard fully. Mirror, validate them. Make sure that they feel heard. Make sure that they feel validated. And then take your own turn and ask them if they can hold the same space for you to go ahead and get out your feelings without interruption, without but this, without, oh, well, da 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 da. Really giving each other a chance to be heard. Okay. So next point is to be compassionate. Okay. Being compassionate. This again, you guys, it's interesting because I was in a relationship before and our communication was actually terrible. It was non-existent. And the guy would always say, you know, like we wouldn't even really argue like that because it was just like, oh, well, you're upset with something I did. Well, I'm going to wait till you get over that and we'll just be good. And he would always be like, well, I mean, we're going to be together, you know, like we're not breaking up. So, you know, what's the point in doing all this arguing? Now, no, do the argument, have the conversation, but keep in mind, there's one thing that was important in that, which is we're going to be together, whether it's a partner, whether it's a child, whether it's a friend, whether it's even a coworker that you have to deal with, somebody that you have to be, you're going to be with this person. Okay. So realize that the goal is for you to understand each other and to grow in love and respect for each other. And let me just side note really quick, because I wanted to bring this up too. And I don't know if I'm going to make a part 3 to this. So I want to put as much value into this as I can, but respect, you guys, I feel like I'm sounding like an old person, but respect is really lost on our generation. Respect for our partner, you know, just respect in general. It's kind of funny and like jokey to talk down to people and call each other, you know, derogatory names. And it's just like, but like respect, in my opinion, I just see as a main ingredient that is just missing, you know, amongst people, the common respect of I'm a human being, you're a human being, you know, not only are we human beings, but we're human beings that love each other. You know, let's not talk let's not yell and scream at each other. Let's not talk down and be derogatory to each other. You know, let's really respect each other. And if your relationship is built on disrespect, and this comes from both sides, guys, it's not just men and it's not just women. It is both that really just, I don't know, get off on disrespecting each other. So that really needs to be like, that's something that is worth working on, you guys. But anyways, let's get into compassion. Okay. So this is another thing that Meisha taught me as well about not only my own inner child trauma, but that everybody in the world, you guys, is dealing with some sort of trauma. Everybody. And it doesn't have to be what they call capital T trauma. It doesn't have to be someone assaulted them in some way. It can just be things like feeling abandoned in life, or maybe parents that weren't emotionally available to them, or, you know, all kinds of things that happen that then cause us to basically be who we are, right? And I talk about this a lot when it comes to manifesting. So everybody has that going on. So let's say you have a boyfriend, and your boyfriend is, let's say he doesn't talk, right? He shuts down when you guys are talking and things like that, or you're trying to argue. And so him shutting down makes you feel abandoned. His trigger triggers you, right? His trigger response triggers you, right? So him maybe not feeling heard, maybe not feeling important enough to share his feelings, maybe being ridiculed for sharing his feelings, has caused him to be a shut down person that cannot effectively communicate. Now, when you're trying to talk to him and he won't communicate, now you're angry, you're yelling, you're screaming, you're getting upset and frustrated, right? And so that triggers him more, right? It triggers him more deeper into his trigger response, because now he's definitely feeling like he can't say anything. He's definitely feeling, you know, emasculated and talked down to, right? And it's really like a ping pong of triggers going back and forth. And I've noticed that this happens in so many relationships, you guys. It happens in friendships. It happens in parenting and children. It happens in romantic relationships. Their trigger response triggers you, and then your trigger response triggers them, and it goes back and forth and back and forth. But what we can do, you guys, is see this person is feeling pain. This person is feeling some kind of pain, you know? I have felt pain before. I have felt pain, and you can be one in that moment from that realization. You know, I have felt pain. They're feeling pain. Can I be the one to invite compassion into this conversation? Can I be the one to stop giving the pain. There's this Buddhist quote that I love, and I know I've mentioned it before, but he says, I see that you're suffering. How can I help you suffer less? I see that you are suffering. How can I help you suffer less? You know, so instead of, oh, well, what you're doing is not what I want, so let me yell at you and make you and persuade you and make you be what I want you to be, you know, I see that in some way. How can I help you suffer less? And that's pretty, you know, that's a little, you don't want to, you know, some of you guys, you don't want to sound like a monk or something like that. So you can just ask, how can I support you? How can I support you? How can I help in this moment? Right? And again, you are giving space. You are allowing the person to feel safe, to feel like their feelings matter, right? If you guys think about like an angsty teenager and they're all attitude all the time, they don't care about what their parents are talking about. And, you know, the parents are like, let me in. Why won't you let me in? But, but the kid doesn't feel like anyone cares, you know, because what do they get told? Oh, well, your problems don't matter. Wait till you're an adult. School's not that big of a deal. Who cares? Bullies, just ignore them. You know what I mean? Their experience is completely invalidated. So why would they feel safe in expressing themselves to you? Right? They find other ways to express themselves. They find other ways to get attention. And this is not just in teenagers, because I'm gonna let y'all know, I remember realizing at like my first or second job, I was like, wait a minute, people don't actually grow up. People are literally children in adult bodies. Like the maturing age doesn't always come with maturity. You know, people grow on the outside, but that doesn't mean that they're growing on the inside. So all of these people are feeling like that when they're feeling invalidated, when they're feeling like, well, my feelings don't matter. Well, then they are going to shut down. They're not going to share with you. So when you offer them support, when you offer them compassion, when you offer them the part that is feeling pain in me, sees, honors, respects the part that is feeling pain in you, now they have a safe space to open up to you and to share, right? And so my last one is to be the change. This is also a Buddhist quote that I love. Be the change that you want to see in the world. And this, I'm seeing now how this has to do with manifestation as well. But be the change. And this, for me, I'm going to talk about this in two aspects. The first aspect is for my manifestors. If you guys are on my channel, you guys are probably manifestors. So, you know, or if you don't, you call forth qualities from people. The people in my family, literally every single one of us has a different relationship and a different perspective on every single one of us in my family. And it's because you call forth the qualities that you expect from another. You are putting them into a role that they are going to act out. And they act that out. And so we accept like, oh, well, that's just who they are. That's just who they are, right? And it's not just who they are. I read, who was it? I can't remember. I think it was Neville or Joseph Murphy, but they were talking about, it was a near-death experience that I was watching. And the woman was talking with God, and God was saying, you know, when you see someone in a lower light, you are basically, I can't say it the way he said it, but you're intercepting that opportunity for them to be their highest self. When you're seeing them only in the role, like, you know, let's say, I don't know, a boyfriend of yours, you're a narcissist, that's all that you'll ever be, you know, that's all that you are. You're putting them in that role. So they have to be that because this is your reality that you're creating. So if you say that that's what they are, that's what they are. Now, when you're in like a marriage or something, you guys, or, you know, in a relationship or a friendship, again, something that you can't easily just say, okay, I'm done with you. I don't need to talk to you anymore. It's worth it to call something different forth from them. Focus on the things that you love about them. Focus on the things that you like about them. Because we kind of have this idea that, oh, the harder I am on someone. One of my friend's moms told me that. She was like, you need to be harder on her. You need to this. And I was like, actually, no, you know, I'm not going to be harder on her. I'm going to be pretty much the only person that's in her corner, that's supporting her, that's magnifying her greatness instead of her downfalls. So magnify their greatness, you know, especially when it comes to your kids and things like that. It's, you know, I know we don't remember as adults, but it is tough being a kid. It's tough being a kid, especially when you get to those angsty preteen and teenage years and you're trying to figure things out, especially in this world now today, you know, but praise them, because the thing is, you catch more bees with honey than vinegar. You will get more good out of someone because they don't want to disappoint you, rather than getting more good out of them because they're afraid about how you're going to talk down. You know, in psychology, they call it a self-fulfilling prophecy. You know, people are telling their 1-year-old baby, 2-year-old baby, you're so bad. Oh, they're so bad. They are just so bad. It's like, it's a baby. It doesn't even know anything yet. It's not bad. It's figuring things out. You know, we are not bad. We're figuring things out. Okay. So call forth the qualities from a person that you want by focusing on the good in them, because there's good and bad in everyone. The two wolves, the wolf that's angry, the wolf that's, you know, jealous, the wolf that's insecure, the wolf that's loving, the wolf that's forgiving, the wolf that's kind. Which wolf wins inside of us? Which wolf wins inside others? The wolf that you feed. So feed the good qualities in others that you wish to see more. Now, the other side of being the change is what, and I actually made 2 videos, guys, the role of yourself and the role of others. I'm going to also link those in the description, because those videos expand on this. But who are you being inside, you guys? Who are you being inside? If you are being a victim, you are going to attract people to victimize you. And I'm going to tell you guys something. Being a victim is very comfortable because you don't have to change. You get to be who you are. You get to stay exactly the same, and everyone else just gets to be demonized. Everyone else gets to be the problem. Everyone else gets to be the one that is, you know, infringing on your reality and making your life so hard and things like that. It's easy to be the victim, and it's safe to be the victim because there's no need for you to change. It's a need for everyone in the world to change, but since we know that there's nothing, that's not going to happen, well, then it's easy just to sit in, you know, victim mentality. Okay. So if you're a victim, people have to come and victimize you. If you're insecure, right? This is a big one. If you're insecure, then there are going to come things that make you feel insecure, regardless of who you're with or who you're talking to or what you're doing or what you're looking at or not looking at. Things will pop up for you to feel insecure because that is who you're being. That is what you're emanating. That is what you're vibrating. That is what you're magnetizing into your reality, is circumstances that confirm who you say that I am, which is insecure. So when you find yourself, again, you guys, a big thing to look out for, because again, let me say this too. I'm not telling you guys to allow people to treat you wrong. I'm not telling you guys to basically, you know, just to stay with people that don't whatever, or to allow people to disrespect you, or to allow people to walk all over you. But what I am telling you is that you cannot change people. You can change what you're getting from people, but it starts with you, because it starts with you deciding to change how you're seeing them. But the person that you have the most control over is yourself. So this is why my videos are always about changing self. It's not going to be about changing someone else. It's about changing self, because your world is reflecting who you're being. You are emanating who you're being. So when you notice a pattern in your life, when you notice, like I told you guys in a few videos ago, I noticed that I had this pattern with friends, with really just flaky, like not here for you one day, next day they don't want to talk to you. Like, I was attracting this into my life back to back to back to back to back to back. And yeah, I could be like, wow, well, everybody's just, everybody's just such bad people, I could be like that. But I had to realize that, hey, what is alive in me though? Because it's clear that I'm attracting this into my experience over and over. Pay attention to the patterns, you guys. And it's funny because the patterns show up and it's so clearly the other person's fault. It's so clearly them. Well, I've been being perfect this whole time. I've been this and that and this and that. And it doesn't matter though, because if you can be the nicest, sweetest, and I never got this when I used to live in victim mentality, which was like my whole life until I learned about the law of attraction. But, I would be super nice. I was a super people pleaser, super pushover. And, I couldn't understand. I'd be like, but I'm being nice to people. Why aren't they being nice to me? I go out of my way for people. Why aren't people going out of their way for me? But it's because I identified as an insecure person. I identified as a victim person. So people had to come in and make that true for me, So look in the patterns that are popping up for you. Look in the patterns. What is it? What does this say about me? What kind of person am I being that's creating this? And again, because I know, oh, that's victim blaming and whatever. Hey, Olivia. That's victim blaming and shaming. And no, it's not victim blaming. It's not about blame. It's not about, oh, it's my fault that everybody treats me this way. I'm a bad person. It's not about that. It's really about being curious. If something is popping up over and over and over, when and if you don't know, I'm telling you now, your outer world is reflecting your inner world. My phone's dying every single time. So looking within the inner world and seeing, where did I create this? Not to say that you stay with the person that's abusing you or that you, say that, whatever, but you cannot wait for people to change. You cannot wait for apologies. You can't wait for people to turn around and realize that, oh, I've been so wrong. You will be holding your breath for a very long time. The only thing that you can change is yourself. And the only thing you can change is who you're being. And that is always going to magnetize into your experience basically what you're being now, your new sense of self. When you identify as secure, you will bring people into your life that match that confirm that. When you identify as empowered, you will bring experiences in to match that. Oh, Olivia, your message is so sweet. I'm super happy to encourage you. I love you. You are like one of the OGs in my group, and I'm just appreciative of you. I'm appreciative of all of you guys that are catching this, and I'm intending that this helps you guys. I'm intending that this prospers your relationships and that you found value in this. I'm not sure that I'll make another one. It depends on how this video does, because the other video, people don't really care about communicating. So, but it's a life skill. So yeah, you guys, I love you. And I'm about to go live again in my group. I'm about to go live back to back in my group. So if you guys want to catch my lives quicker, then join my group. It'll be in the link. Schedule a session. It's in the description. Check out Meisha's work. It's also going to be in the description. I love you guys. You're beautiful. You're wonderful. You're deserving of everything that you want and more. And it's coming to you. I love you.